Hi, my name is Josh and I'm from His Brew Coffee Roastery. Now today we're excited to be releasing the new Ethiopian Halo Berity Natural process. So it's a little bit more funky than a typical Ethiopian wash process coffee. It has tasting notes of strawberry acidity, floral notes like a typical Ethiopian, and also a oolong tea finish. Now for this recipe today, we're going to be using a V60 plastic V2 and also the V60 or a Hario decanter. Now for this recipe, it will be simple. We will be using the Matt Winton recipe, which is a 5-pour method. So the grind size on a Commandante, it will be 24 clicks on a Commandante. So it's about a medium grind size, slightly a little bit coarser than a filter-based coffee. 24 clicks. Recipe calls for a 20 grams in of coffee and 300 grams of coffee out. Now this 300 grams of water out will be separated into 5 pours, so meaning 60 grams in each pour. And so let's start the pour. So I'll turn on my scale. Now just to be sure for all of you, whenever you have your filter paper, you want to fold the perforated edge, and you also want to saturate your filter paper so that all the papery taste will be gone from the paper. And also the byproduct of it is that you are heating up just your brew vessel itself, right? So let's pour this in. Okay. So now I have 20 grams of Ethiopian Yirgacheffe right here. I'll even out my brew bed as much as possible, and I'll zero out my scale. Okay. Now for the brew temperature, water temperature, I chose a 92 degrees because that is just nice for your brew. So 92 degrees, 20 grams of coffee in. Let's start. Now the first pour would be 60 grams of water. I'll just do a center pour all the way to the outside. When I hit 60 grams, I stop. Now the first pour typically would take a bit longer just because of the blooming, of the degassing, and so we're letting all the CO2 degas from the coffee. Now at 30 seconds, I'll do my second pour. So it's 30 seconds now. I'll pour it all the way to 120 degrees. Now if you notice my pour, it's a pretty vigorous pour, just because I want to saturate and extract hopefully as much as possible in the first 3 pours of this recipe. So I'm just waiting for it to draw down all the way, and I'll start my third pour. So now it's at 120 grams. My third pour, I will pour it all the way to 180 grams. So it's about a minute now. I'll do my third pour. So I'll pour it all the way to 180 grams. Now something that I like to do on my third pour is basically to shake the brew bed a little bit, just gently, so that all the coffees that are on the side especially, it will draw down and it will be extracted hopefully as evenly as possible. Now this fourth pour, it will be all the way to 240, and I will pour it at 1 minute 40 seconds. So it's a minute 40 now, and pour it to 240. Same circular motion from inside to outside, and try to do the center pour a bit longer. Now this would be my last pour. At 2 minutes and 10 seconds, I'll be pouring my last pour all the way to 300 grams. Now this gives me a 1:15 ratio, which is a very nice ballpark to start off with, and then you can play around from there. So last pour all the way to 300. Okay, awesome. Now we've reached 300, and it's 2 minutes and 25 seconds now. I'm expecting my total brew time to be 3 minutes or slightly under. As long as it's within 3 minutes mark, it's a good start. So it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds now, and it's halfway drawing down. The last drawdown time would take typically a little bit longer than your other pours, just because the brew bed is trying to go down as evenly as possible. Now, the sign of a good extraction or good pour is that at the end of your coffee, your bed should be a flat bed. It shouldn't be a mountaintop or a valley. It should be as flat as possible, because that will show you that your extraction, hopefully, is as even as possible. Now it's at 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Put it and cut off the brew. And now, stop the timer. And if you can see here, my bed is now quite flat, right? So it's a flat bed, and this decanter, it's pretty nice because it's a cone-shaped decanter where all the aroma would just goes up. Immediately I'm smelling the oolong tea finish, right? You can smell it. For me personally, I do not want that oolong tea to be overpowering, because if it's overpowering, the sweetness and the acidity will be tamed down. So I try to not over extract the coffee, if there's such a thing, right? And also I like to drink all my filtered coffee at about 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. So when it's cool enough, but not too cool, right? Although it's a little bit high in temperature, let's take the first sip. Reminds me of Ethiopia, just very floral. The oolong tea is there too. Then the sweetness of just the berry notes that's coming through. Pretty nice coffee. So for those of you who are interested, you can head on to our website. Links are down in the description below. Very nice coffee. I think it's a coffee that won't wow you, but it won't disappoint you too. It's just a daily driver, and it gives you a good consistent cup. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.